सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So in this wonderful text, Vivekachoodamani, in the last session we have seen one wonderful concept which was, so to say, new for all of us, and that was the cyclic relationship between cause and effect. Karya, effect, karana, cause. Generally, so far how we think, we somehow understand that the karana, cause, creates karya, and therefore when you destroy the karana, cause, karya is destroyed, effect is destroyed. But here Shankaracharya beautifully explains, if you take ahankara as the cause, even when the ahankara is destroyed, it will come back. Though the cause is destroyed, the cause will come back. How? By thinking about Vishaya. Right? Thinking about the sense pleasures, sense objects. What will happen? The cause, ahankara, will come back. Now, taking this further, now he is going back to the main concept of vasana. And he says, now if you take vasana as the cause, then the effects of vasana, which we generally call as kama and karma. Here the words used are chinta and kriya. Same, they mean the same. Chinta means desire, kriya means action. So if you understand that vasana is the cause and the desire and action is the effect, then as it is true that by the cause the effect comes, and when the cause is destroyed, the effect is destroyed, it is also true that the cause is nourished by the effect. And unless the effect is totally destroyed, the cause cannot be totally destroyed. So even when the cause is gone, If there is an effect which remains, then it will revive the cause. Why? Because there is a cyclic relationship between the two, between the cause and the effect. Okay? This was a new point. Shankaracharya is fine-tuning now and clarifying some more things and adding some more points. Now see, that's what we had seen. So we understand how the effect is nourished by the cause. That we all know. Now he is trying to explain the other way around, and he had said, Karya pravardhanat bija pravriddhi paridrśyate. Verse number 312. When the effects grow, we see that the cause, the seed also grows. This we had seen in two ways. In a tree, in an example of a tree, when the shoots are more, the roots become stronger. When the effects grow, the cause becomes stronger. Or when the tree is bigger, there are more flowers, more fruits, and therefore more seeds, future seeds, okay, which are going to create further new trees. In any way you take, the point is what? It is cyclic, and therefore when karya pravardhana, when the effects grow, bija pravriddhi, the seed, the cause also grows. Karyanāśat bījanāśah. And when we keep on cutting the tree, cutting the branches of the tree, slowly the roots also die away. Tasmat karyam nirodhayet. Therefore Shankaracharya says, control the effect. If you cannot directly attack the cause, control the effect. Right? Vasana vriddhitah karyam, karya vriddhyacha vasana. Now this is where he shows that cyclic nature. That when vasanas grow, actions grow. The effect. Here karya means, karya is effect. See, why Shankaracharya is bringing this terminology of chinta and kriya. Generally karma etc. we use, no? Karya is effect. So vasana vriddhitah, when the vasanas, the cause grows, karyam, the effect also grows. What is the effect here? The desire and the action. Karya vriddhyacha vasana. And when effects are more, the vasanas, the cause is more. So in this way, both increase each other. And then what? Sarvatha pumsaha samsaraha na nivartate. Because of this, for a person pumsaha, samsara is not destroyed. Why? Because the cause and effect complement each other. And they create a huge cyclic chain. So you either feed the cause or you nourish the effect. One will nourish the other and both will grow exponentially. And therefore the samsara is not destroyed. Now, we saw that this, if you look at it from one way, is a big problem. Why big problem? Because even if the cause is totally destroyed, if you still continue to entertain the effect, the cause will be revived. So it's a big danger. But we also saw that it's a great opportunity for us. Why? The moment it's a cycle, the cycle can be broken from any point. It is not always easy to attack the cause. But since here cause and effect are cyclic in nature, you can start by attacking the effect. That is possible. That is easier. So in a way, if you see, it's a negative thing. If you see in another way, it's a positive thing. We can start by controlling the effect. When we start controlling the effect, the cause slowly comes to control. Right? Now that is what. So that's what now Shankaracharya says. Samsara bandha vichchityai, samsara bandha, the bondage of transmigration, samsara vichchityai, for the destruction of the bondage of samsara, tat dvayam pradahet yatihi. Yatihi, a seeker, Pradahet, should burn or burns. What? Tathādvayānandarasānubhūtau. Those two things. Now here those two doesn't mean cause and effect. What are the two things? He explains in the next line. Vasana vriddhi etabhyam. The two which nourish the vasana. Which are these two? Chintaya kriyaya. Vasana is nourished by chinta and by kriya. Chinta is desire, kriya is action. So again, going back to Pujya Gurudev's BMI chart, vasanas on the level of intellect come as desires, on the level of mind as thoughts, on the level of body as actions, which again strengthen the vasana. This is the cycle. Right? Now here, the mental thoughts and physical actions are put together and called together as action, because it is mental action, physical action. It is action. Right? That action comes from desire. Desire comes from vasana. Vasana comes from another action in the past. So in this way, the cycle is there. So vasana is nourished by desire and action. And therefore, a seeker what should do? Seeker should burn the effect. What is that? Seeker should burn the desire and action. Why? Because we cannot contact our vasanas otherwise. We don't know what is there in our vasanas. Vasanas are on the level of causal body, isn't it? They are subtler than the mind. So we don't know. They are the ones that have created the mind. So the mind intellect doesn't know what are the vasanas unless they come out as desires. So when they come out as desires, start to control them. Right? Is it clear? He continues. Tabhyam pravardhamana sa vasana, that vasana, tabhyam pravardhamana, which is nourished by these two, by the desire and action, sute samsritim, then creates the samsara. Atmanaha, for a person. Therefore, what? There are three things involved now. Oh my dear student, Shankaracharya is saying that there are three things involved. Vasana, which is the cause, chinta and kriya, desire and action, which is the effect, which are cyclic in nature. Now he says, there is one way by which all these three can be destroyed together. Means, cause and effect are dealt with together. It's called Brahmastra. Everything is gone at one point. What is that? Trayanam cha kshayopayah. What is that kshaya upaya? What is the means for destruction of trayanam, of all the three? Now that is what he says. Sarva avasthasu, in all the states. Sarvada, always. Continuing in the next verse. Sarvatra, everywhere. Sarvataha, sarvataha, in all ways. Not always, in all ways. By using all the methods, in all aspects, respects. Sarva, everything. Brahma matra avalokane. In all states, always, everywhere, in all ways, in all respects, everything perceive as Brahman alone. Perceive everything as Brahman alone, at all times, in all ways. This is Brahmastra. Why? Because this will attack all the three. Vasana also, Chinta also, Kriya also. Ajnana also, Kama also, Karma also. Avidya, Kama, Karma, we generally say no, Anartha Parampara. The same thing is explained here as Vasana, Vasana, Chinta and Kriya. All the three will be attacked and will be destroyed together by this. Sadbhava vasana dardhyat. Now this is what is called as sadbhava vasana. Sadbhava vasana means what? Sadbhava means, sat means existence. Bhava means feeling. Feeling of existence alone being everywhere. Vasana. So what are we trying to do now? We are trying to create the opposite vasana, which sometimes we call as Brahmakara vasana. It's same. Sadbhava Vasana, Brahmakara Vasana, Brahman alone is everything. I am that Brahman alone, Aham Brahmasmi iti Vasana. It's all one and the same. By creating this Vasana, all the three, the Vasana, Chinta, Kriya, all the three are destroyed together. Tat Trayam Layam Ashnute. All the three are dissolved. All the three are destroyed. Okay? Now, classic Shankaracharya, he is given a problem, he is given a solution which looks tough. Therefore, he says, if you are not able to do this, then you do what I told you before. What is that? Attack the effect. If Brahmastra, see, last time also we saw, Brahmastra will destroy all the enemies together. But we should have capacity to wield Brahmastra and use it. It is true that Sadbhava Vasana will destroy Vasana, Chinta, Kriya, everything. But are we able to do this Sadbhava Vasana? Are we able to see Brahman everywhere? If we are not able to do, then what to do? Next verse. That's the verse that we have to see. Verse number 317. 317. Kriyānāśe bhaveccintānāśo'smādvāsanākṣayaḥ. vāsanāprakṣayo mokṣaḥ. Sa jīvanmuktiriṣyate. kriyānāśe bhaveccintānāśo'smādvāsanākṣayaḥ. vāsanāprakṣayo mokṣaḥ. Sa jīvanmuktiriṣyate. What he says, if you are not able to use that Brahmastra, if you are not able to destroy all the three cause and effect and everything together, then what? Start to control the effect. Kriyānāśe bhaveccintānāśo'smādvāsanākṣayaḥ. Now he is going in another direction. Vasana creates Chinta, desire. Chinta creates Kriya, action. Now he says you start controlling the grossest of the three, and the subtler one will start getting destroyed. Kriyānāśe bhaveccintānāśo'smādvāsanākṣayaḥ. When you start controlling the actions means what? Even though the desire is prompting me to act, with the free will, with the purushartha, I stop that action. I say, no, I am not going to do. My desire is forcing. It is telling me, go. Let us enjoy it together again, once more. Let us do it. You say no. Then by saying no, what are you doing? Slowly you are controlling the desire. Asmat, and then by Chintānāśa, vāsanākṣayaḥ. Then it goes further. By controlling the action, the desires are controlled or destroyed. By the destruction of desires, now vasanas are also destroyed. When you keep saying no to the action, the desires slowly start to reduce. Why? Because the mind also understands slowly that I can live without it. Then what happens? Slowly the vasana itself changes. Okay, see, example. Think of some food item which you used to love at one point of time, which was probably addictive also. It can be tea, coffee, ice cream. It can be anything. Sweets for many people. Then what happened? Then somebody told you that it is not good for health. You went to some yoga class, etc. Something happened and they told tea and coffee are poison. Then you should not have. Now what happens? See, that vasana is there. So every day morning, the moment I get up, first the desire comes up, tea. Then you get up. First the desire gets up, then you get up. Now what happens? No. No tea today. No tea. Then one day, second day also you keep saying no tea. Morning, no tea. Then third day also you say. Then what happens? Slowly the desire starts to reduce. When you are continuously saying no to the action, the desire doesn't arise. Why? Because it is understood now that action is not going to happen. Mind knows now. Now when the desire starts to go away, starts to get destroyed, it attacks the vasana. Over a period of time, what happens? That inclination to have that desire for tea, that itself is gone. Then what? Then even if somebody brings the tea, you don't want it. How we have gone? We have gone from effect to cause. From grosser effect to the subtler effect to the main effect. Causal effect. Causal effect is cause. Right? From grosser effect, action, we have slowly gone to desire, and from desire we have attacked the vasanas. Right? Now what is Brahmastra? Brahmastra was what? The moment there is a desire, I want tea, you say, why do you need tea? You are a Brahman. Tea is Brahman. You don't need Brahman. You already have Brahman. You don't need it. Now this is something different level altogether. Okay. So that is the best thing, because then vasana, desire, action, everything is destroyed at one point. But suppose we are not able to do this all the time. Sometimes what happens, spirituality becomes overdose. Too much of spirituality happens. For some of us, it happens like that. Why? You are not allowing me to enjoy anything. What is this? TV I can't watch. Mobile I can't be with. Tea, at least leave tea. No, now you have attacked tea also. Now I can't enjoy tea also. Now every single time, earlier at least I used to think that at least while listening to Vivekachoodamani also I used to drink tea. Now that also I cannot do. This is too much. Suppose Brahmastra is not possible, then slowly, one by one, you start to work on the action. Slowly. One tea vasana is gone, then coffee vasana comes, then coffee vasana is gone, then some other vasana is there. That is coming as action. Then you start removing slowly, one vasana you have to remove. Long process, what to do, because we are not able to use the Brahmastra. Right? But this should be done. If you don't know, Vedji, Brahmastra is not possible, let me not do anything. Then samsara will continue. We already saw. Right? Something has to be done. If not that, at least do this. Okay. Vāsanāprakṣayaḥ mokṣaḥ. Now you keep on doing like this. When vāsanāprakṣayo, prakarshena kṣayaḥ, when the vasanas are totally destroyed in this way, where you are also destroying the effect and then also destroying the cause. When in this way vasanas are totally gone, mokṣaḥ, that itself is liberation. Sa jīvanmuktiriṣyate, that itself is called as jīvanmukti, liberation while living. Isn't it? Earlier also we have seen this concept. Manonaśe and vāsanākṣaya, that's what leads to the experience of jīvanmukti. So vāsanākṣaya, that itself is mukti. Therefore, two ways are given by Shankaracharya. He says you choose whichever way works for you. One is the ultimate solution of attacking all the three together. Vasana, kama and karma. Vasana, kriya and vasana, chinta and kriya. Attack all the three together. Or start controlling the kriya so that the chinta will be reduced or destroyed. Then chinta is destroyed, the vasana is destroyed. Then in this way, when you destroy all vasanas, that is another way, that is the second way, you will get liberation. So sadbhava vasana, one method, or actually the concept that we had seen earlier, which is not to have vishaya anuchintana. That is this controlling the effect. Okay, not to think about it so that the mind will not have desire for it. That is on the level of mind, mental action. No, don't think about the object. Then the desire will not be there slowly. Then the vasana will be removed. Right? In this way you destroy sadbhava, brahma bhava, or this controlling the effect. In these two ways, you can destroy the vasanas. Okay, that was the main topic. Don't forget, we are into the topic of destruction of vasanas. Remember where we are? Jantunam narajanma durlabam ataf pumstam tato viprata tasmat vaidika dharma marga prata vidvatvam shravana atmanatma vivechanam manana swanubhavaha nididhyasana brahmatmana samsthiti. That is where we are now. Shravana manana nididhyasana is over. Now what? Those vasanas are creating problems. Now that is to be removed. That is where we are. What is the next step? Mukti. That's what he has said here. Vāsanāprakṣayo mokṣaḥ. Brahmatmana samsthiti. Next step is muktirno shatajanma koti sukriti. Right? So that is where we are. So attack the vasanas either directly or through the effects. But that is what you should do. Now he is giving example to explain to us if that sadbhava vasana works. If that sadbhava, brahmabhava vasana works, what will happen? Because this concept of controlling the effects and thus attacking the cause is already explained. He is not going to explain it further. Right? So again he goes to that sadbhava and gives one example. Let us see. Verse number 318. sadvāsanāsphūrtivijṛmbhaṇe sati hyasau vilīnāpyahamādivāsanā atiprakṛṣṭāpyaruṇaprabhāyāṃ vilīyate sādhu yathā tamisrā sadvāsanāsphūrtivijṛmbhaṇe sati hyasau vilīnāpyahamādivāsanā atiprakṛṣṭāpyaruṇaprabhāyāṃ vilīyate sādhu yathā tamisrā. sadvāsanāsphūrtivijṛmbhaṇe sati. Sati when? Sati saptami prayoga. You remember? Saptami vibhakti used to indicate time. When vijṛmbhaṇa is vivid rising. Sphurti vijṛmbhaṇa. Vivid rising of sadvāsana, of this sadbhava vasana, of this brahma bhava, of this feeling, strong feeling that everything is Brahman, everything is existence. Sadbhava vasana, sadvāsana sphurti vijṛmbhaṇe sati. When this feeling of Brahman being everywhere vividly rises, absolutely spot on, it covers everything. Then what happens? He indeed asau, this, what this? Ahamādivāsanā. This other kind of vasana which is there, no? Aham vasana, etc. Remember? Ahankara topic was taken. That. Vilīna. Api vilīna. That also is dissolved. That also is destroyed. So when this sadbhava vasana rises clearly, the aham vasana, etc. and aham adi is etc. All the vasanas, including the aham vasana, all of them are dissolved. When this rises, this is dissolved. Like what? Example. Tamisrā, yathā tamisrā. Last two words you see. Yathā, just as tamisrā, darkness. Just as darkness, atiprakṛṣṭā api. First two words of the second line. Atiprakṛṣṭā api. Though ati, extremely, prakṛṣṭā, strong, intense. Darkness which is very strong, very intense in the night. Aruṇaprabhāyāṃ vilīyate. Aruṇaprabhāyāṃ. When that Aruna comes. Aruna is the glow that comes before the rising sun. Aruna is also in our Puranas etc. is explained as the charioteer of Surya. charioteer of the sun. And therefore, the charioteer comes first. No, then the chariot and the master will come. So he says that Aruna itself, when that glow of the rising sun, that itself destroys the darkness. Though that darkness was very intense, it is destroyed by this Aruna Prabha. Because of the glow of the rising sun, the darkness is destroyed. In the same way, when Sadbhava Vasana rises, that what we say, Ahamadivāsanā, all the Vasanas, other Vasanas which are there, they are gone, they are destroyed, they are dissolved. Okay. Similar example is given in Atma Bodha also. When Aruna rises and it destroys the darkness, then the sun comes, the self shines by itself. When Aruna has already destroyed the darkness. That's the same example that is given here also. Okay. Now he continues the example. Here example is what? Sadbhava Vasana destroying Aham Vasana and all other Vasanas along with it. Right. Now he continues the example. Let us see the next verse. 319. tamastamaḥkāryamanarthajālaṃ na dṛśyate satyudite dineśe tathādvayānandarasānubhūtau naivaasti bandho na ca duḥkhagandhaḥ tamastamaḥkāryamanarthajālaṃ na dṛśyate satyudite dineśe tathādvayānandarasānubhūtau naivaasti bandho na ca duḥkhagandhaḥ. Udite dineśe sati or dineśe udite sati. Again sati saptami prayoga. When dineśe sun, dinasya ishah, the lord of the day, dineśe. Udite, when it rises, when the sun rises, tamaha, darkness, tamah karyam, the effect of tamas, the effect of darkness, anarthajalam, which is a net of calamity, anarthajala, jala means net, anartha means calamity, na dṛśyate, is not seen. Means what? When that sun rises, the darkness and the effects of darkness, all of them are destroyed. All of them vanish. Sometimes when children are playing cricket in the evening, they start playing cricket Sunday to of course in the afternoon etc. only they start. Then slowly when it starts becoming dark, they don't want to stop. Okay. So the only way that the game stops is when the ball is gone into the bush and because of the darkness you cannot find the ball. But they try all the methods to search for the ball. In the dark you can't see anything, but you will see everybody with the bat and with the stump and they will keep seeing. Then after searching for that ball everywhere, finally one wise person among them says, leave it now, there is no point in wasting time, we'll come tomorrow morning. And interestingly, in the morning when you come in the daylight, the ball is right there. In the most obvious place. It's not even hidden anywhere. But why it was not seen? Because of darkness. The moment sun rises, darkness is gone. At the same time, all the effects of darkness, that I am not able to find the ball and rope appears to be snake. You remember? All these examples are because of the darkness only. All that is gone. Tatha, in the same way, in that same example. Now drishtanta is over, now dashtantika, now siddhanta is being given. What is the siddhanta now? Advaya ananda rasa anubhūtau. Anubhuti, anubhūtau, saptami. When anubhuti, when the realization happens, realization of what? Realization of essence, rasa, of bliss, ananda, which is advaya, non-dual. On realization of the essence of bliss of that non-dual Brahman, or the bliss which is non-dual, when this realization takes place, this realization is indicative of that sadbhava vasana, that Brahma bhava when it takes over. When there is an experience, that everything is Brahman, when that experience comes, what happens? Na eva asti bandha, na cha duḥkhagandhaḥ. There is neither the bondage nor is even the smell of sorrow. Duḥkhagandhaḥ is also not there. Forget about actual dukkha. The last traces of sorrow also do not persist. They go away. I tell you, Shankaracharya's Sanskrit is so beautiful. See, in anything, no, gandha is the last thing that leaves. See, even when you have cleaned something and you cannot see it, but still the smell lingers on for some time. And therefore you say you open the windows and doors, everything you open, so that smell also will go away. So the smell is the last thing to leave. Actually speaking, in us also, in all the 5 organs of perception that we have, they say that the strongest is the smell. We may think that eyes are stronger. No. Why? Because we easily forget what we have seen. We easily forget the sound. We easily forget the touch. But smell, they say, we don't forget that easily. Scientists, etc. say all these things. Now, Vedantins knew this before only. So, duḥkhagandhaḥ api nasti. Duḥkhagandha means not even smell of sorrow. Means there is absolutely no sorrow. The last traces of sorrow also are gone. Bandho is also not there. And duḥkhagandha is also not there. Again, even in that, he has used this anuprasa. You see, bandha and duḥkhagandha. You see, bandhagandha. Anuprasa it is called. In English, what is it called? Alliteration or something, I think. No? Where the sound comes again and again. Isn't it? Figure of speech. One of the figure of speeches in the language. So, bandha, duḥkhagandha, he is even done that while explaining such a high philosophy. What is he saying? When the realization of that non-dual Brahman arises, there is neither the bondage nor the sorrow. And that bondage is risen from what? From the vasana, from that aham vasana. That is also not there. So, the cause is also gone, tamas, ajnana, and effect is also gone. Tamahkārya also is gone. Right? This can be also understood as tamas means ajnana and tamahkārya means the effects of ajnana, kama and karma. So, everything is gone. So, that sadbhava vasana destroys both karya karana, effect and cause together. Okay, that is what happens. Now, he concludes this topic which was started long back. Ahankara, etc. was also discussed, and then also the vasana concept, etc. was discussed. Now, that topic he is concluding. What does he say? Let us see, verse number 320. dṛśyaṃ pratītaṃ pravilāpayansan sanmātramanandaghanam vibhāvayan samāhitassan bahirantaram vā kālam na yathā sati karma bandhe dṛśyam pratītaṃ pravilāpayansan sanmātramanandaghanam vibhāvayan samāhitassan bahirantaram vā kālam nayethā sati karma bandhe. He says, pratītaṃ dṛśyam pravilāpayan. Dṛśyam, that which is seen. S-E-E-N, seen. Pratītaṃ, which is appearing to be there. Means what? Whatever we see is not actually there, but it is appearing to be there. Having dissolved, pravilāpayan. Dissolving the perceived or apparent seen, the world, sun being like this. Or there is a Pathabheda also, dṛśyam pratītaṃ pravilāpayan swayam. In some pathas the word is swayam. Swayam means oneself having done this. Swayam, you yourself having done this. What? First you have mentally dissolved the objects, the world. Then what? Sanmatramanandaghanam vibhāvayan. Then vibhāvayan, you are meditating upon what? Sanmatram, that which is existence alone. Anandaghanam, which is a single mass of bliss. Now you are meditating upon that. So you have dissolved the world of objects and now you are meditating on that one single Brahman, existence, consciousness, bliss, Satchidananda, Parabrahma, Paramatma. When you are meditating upon that, bahihi antaram va, outside as well as inside when you are meditating. What is this outside and inside? He is referring to Drik-Drishya Viveka. There are 6 types of meditations. There is Dṛśyanuviddha Savikalpa Bahya Samadhi, Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Bahya Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Bahya Samadhi. Then Dṛśyanuviddha Savikalpa Antas Samadhi, Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Antas Samadhi, and then Nirvikalpa Antas Samadhi. Those who have studied Drik-Drishya Viveka. What it basically means is, whether you meditate upon the world outside as Brahman or you meditate upon you yourself as Brahman, in any way you meditate, reject that which is impermanent and hold on to that which is permanent. So when you look, I'll just give you an example of how to meditate on outer things. When you look at a flower, you start to think, what is this flower? Flower is a form, name given to a form. But actually what is this flower? It is having Satchidananda aspect. So flower is Brahman. So what is happening now? In that Drishya Vastu, you have given up the name and form and you have gone to the essential substrata. Outside. Bahihi. This is meditating outside. Now inside also, when your eyes are closed and when a thought appears, then you say, what is this thought? This thought is nothing but a ripple in the mind. But where is the mind? The mind is based on Satchidananda. That itself is the truth. The mind and the modification in the mind is not the truth. So actually what is the thought? The thought is nothing but consciousness alone. Pratibodha viditam matam. That through every thought, you can go to the cause, to the ultimate substratum. Now this is what is happening. This you are meditating inside. Outside and inside, meditating continuously. Samāhitassan, being united with this sadbhava, being united with this Brahma bhava, that whether your eyes are open or your eyes are closed, you are always thinking about Brahman. When you do like this, karma bandhe sati, even when there is a bondage of action, means what? Realization has happened, but prarabdha is continuing. Then in that case, what you should do? Kalam na yathā, you should spend your time in this kind of meditation. Outside also meditating on Brahman being the substratum of the world. Inside also meditating on Brahman being the essential core of me, on which the body, mind, intellect and their functions and modifications are all superimposed. So outside as well as inside, meditating on that Brahman, dissolving all the apparent scene, whether it is body, mind, intellect or the world outside. Dissolving all that through meditation, dissolve them actually. Means what? First you, while gaining the knowledge, you dissolved everything mentally. Now you dissolve them actually. Remember this concept we had seen, that the knowledge does bandho of the vision. Knowledge falsifies the vision. When we have the knowledge of physics, though the eyes are seeing the sunrise, the knowledge says the sun does not rise. What is happening? Vision has delusion or illusion, but the knowledge has falsified that vision. This is called mental dissolution. To gain experience of Brahman, this mental dissolution is required. Now, after experience, what to do? After experience, you actually dissolve everything. How? Through continuous meditation, outside as well as inside. That is what is said here. Okay. So, Brahma Vasana, Brahma Avalokana or Sadbhava Vasana, this is shown as the means here. Earlier, controlling the effect and thus attacking the cause was shown as the means. Now here, that Sadbhava Vasana is shown as the means for destroying everything, the cause as well as effect together. Okay, so this Brahmastra Sadbhava Vasana will destroy everything together. By controlling effect, what are you doing? You are weakening the cause and then you can hit the cause. In any case, both need to be done. If we are not able to do Brahmastra, then Sadbhava Vasana is not possible, then go for this, controlling the effect. Is it clear? Okay. Where did this topic start? The topic started that this ahankara is deadly. Why? Because even having destroyed that ahankara, it will come back. Sanjivyate. Right? How does it come back? It comes back by Vishaya Anuchintana. Remember? So even after having destroyed that ego, don't do Vishaya Anuchintana. That's what was the point. Okay. Vij, one doubt. Please. What is the doubt? What is the time limit? Means, there should be some window, no? That I can do Vishaya Anuchintana for this much time and ahankara will not rise. After how much Vishaya Anuchintana, ahankara rises? That you please tell. Why? Because then I can do Vishaya Anuchintana little bit. Not so much that the ahankara will come back, but little bit. That window will be there, no? Small. Shankaracharya says, not even for a moment you should do Vishaya Anuchintana. Why? Because this slip from your nature will result in a great problem. That slip means even after having destroyed ahankara, thinking about Vishaya, thinking about the sense objects. This is called as pramāda. That's the next topic. That's the next topic, pramāda. The topic for next 9 verses, 321 to 329. What is this? Let us see. Verse number 321. Pramādo brahmanishthāyāṃ na kartavyah kadāchana pramādo mrityurityāha bhagavān brahmanas sutah pramādo brahmanishthāyāṃ na kartavyah kadāchana pramādo mrityurityāha brahmana sutah brahmanishthayam brahmatmana samstitihi topic. Okay, see, he has just completed one subtopic with the previous verse. That's why he had changed the meter also. Now he comes back to normal meter and he is starting new topic now. What is he saying? Brahmanishthayam, in that steady abidance in that Brahman, Brahmatmana samsthiti, in that main pursuit of being completely abided in that Brahman, in that main pursuit, pramādāh na kartavyah. You should never do pramāda. What is this pramāda? Now actually the Sanskrit word pramāda is poignant with so many meanings. Okay. Pramāda means inadvertence. Pramāda means carelessness. Pramāda means lack of alertness or vigilance, lack of vigilance. Pramāda also means procrastination. See, all these meanings are put together in the word pramāda. Inadvertence, carelessness, lack of vigilance or lack of alertness, procrastination. All these meanings are put together in the word pramāda. Okay, so any of these or all of these mean by pramāda. When Bhagavan says, Shankaracharya says here, Brahmanishthayam, in that pursuit of being abiding in Brahman, pramādāh na kartavyah. This carelessness, inadvertence should not be done. Kadachana, ever. Na kadachana kartavyah, never it should be done. What? Pramāda. Why? Pramādo mrityuhu iti aha. Because it is said, pramāda is death. Pramāda is death. Said where? He said by whom? Bhagavan Brahmanah Sutah. Brahmanah Sutah, the son of Brahmaji, Bhagavan, who is also the Lord, has said that pramāda is mrityu. What is this now? This is referring to a portion in Mahabharata which is called as Sanat Sujatiya. Sanat Sujatiya. Have you heard of this before? In Mahabharata there are 18 sections, 18 parvas are there. One parva is Udyoga parva. And in that Udyoga parva there comes a scene where Sanat Kumaras are giving Upadesha to Dhritarashtra. And that Upadesha is called as Sanat Sujatiya. Now understand the word also, Sanat Sujatiya. Sanat means Brahma, is the name of Brahmaji. Sanat. So Sanat Kumaraha, Sanat Kumaraha is sons of Brahmaji. Or Sanat Sujataha, Sujataha, well born from that Sanat, from Brahmaji. So we always in Puranas etc., when Sanat Kumaras or Sanat Sujatas, this kind of terms are used, we are referring to 4 children, 4 sons of Brahmaji who are born first. They are called as firstborns. When Brahmaji started the creation, the first sons that are born to Brahmaji are these 4 sons. They are very special because they are born realized. And all 4 of them, they are always in the form of a small children. And therefore that word Sanat Kumara always goes with them, because they are always in that Kumara way. They are Sanata, they are what? Sanak, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. And together also they are called as Sanat Kumara. 4 of them. In Puranas etc., in Bhagavad etc., the story comes. So these 4 sons, now actually they are all realized people, okay, and they are first born of Brahmaji. The 5th one is Naradji. So they are Naradji's elder brothers. And therefore in Chandogya Upanishad, these Sanat Kumaras are the Guru and Naradji is the Shishya. In Chandogya Upanishad, in one of the chapters of Chandogya Upanishad, right? So these Sanat Kumaras are well known and they appear many times in the story also. Now here, those Sanat Kumaras or Sanat Sujatas, they have given Upadesha and therefore it is called as Sanat Sujatiya. Sanat Sujatiya means of Sanat Kumaras, means of Sanat Kumaras, means like Bhagavad Gita, no, of Bhagavan, Bhagavatah, like that Sanat Sujatiya. The Upadesha of Sanat Sujatas, of Sanat Kumaras to Dhritarashtra. Now interestingly, that portion becomes very relevant and important because there are three sections, three portions of Mahabharata on which Bhagavan Shankaracharya has written commentary. One, of course, is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is from Mahabharata, on which Shankara Bhashya is there, commentary of Shankaracharya is there. Second is Vishnu Sahasranama, which is considered to be the first commentary of Shankaracharya, which was given to him by his Guru. When Shankaracharya approached Govinda Bhagavad Pada, he said, I want to know, you are a very small boy, 8-year-old, I want to know whether you are ready to be accepted as a student or not. So you write a commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama, on the 1000 names of Bhagavan Vishnu. And it is said that when Guru said like that, Shankaracharya sat down, whole night he sat and he finished. Next day morning when Guru came, he showed the commentary. And thus Govinda Bhagavad Padacharya accepted Shankaracharya as his disciple. So Vishnu Sahasranama is the second section, second portion of Mahabharata on which there is a commentary by Shankaracharya. And the third portion is this, Sanat Sujatiya. Okay, from the Mahabharata, these are the three portions on which we have Shankar Bhashya. Now, in that Sanat Sujatiya, there is one verse which says, where the Sanat Kumaras are telling Dhritarashtra, Pramādo vai mrityuraham bravimi, sada apramadam amritatvam bravimi. There is one verse which says, Pramādo vai mrityuhu. Pramada indeed is death. Now, taking that as a cue, Shankaracharya brings this topic here. Here he says, Pramādo brahmanishthāyāṃ na kartavyah kadāchana. In the pursuit of abiding in Brahman, one should never do pramāda. Why? Pramādo mrityuhu. Because pramāda is death. Iti aha, thus said Bhagavan Brahmana Sutaha, the son of Brahmaji. Bhagavan, the Lord, said this. Sanat Kumaras are referred to here as Lord. Bhagavan Brahmana Sutaha aha. Now, why pramada is called as death? Because in this spiritual pursuit, pramada leads to total destruction. He is going to explain how, etc. But for a seeker, pramada means what? Inadvertence means what? You defocus from the goal. You forget why you started the whole thing. What is the purpose? Purpose is to realize that Supreme Brahman and experience it. Till the time that experience happens, the goal is not reached. Now, defocusing from the goal itself is called as pramada. Now, this pramada in spirituality we say is the death of sadhana. All the sadhana that you have done so far will go in vain. Why? Because of this pramada, because of this defocusing, you will not reach the goal. So it is the death of sadhana. It is death of sadhya. You will not reach the goal. And thus it is the death of sadhaka. The seeker also is dead now. Why? Because of pramada. In the most introductory book on Vedanta, by one of the introductory books on Vedanta by Gurudev, which is called Kindle Life, which we are supposed to study right at the beginning before we start anything, he says one thing: alert and vigilant living is greatest sadhana. Ever to remain alert and vigilant is the most important sadhana. He says that is very prominent sadhana. Now you see why Gurudev says like that? Because pramada is mrityu. See, death of the body is still okay. Why? Because one janma, is getting over. This pramada, which is the death of your sadhana which you have done for many, many lives. Greater death, worse death. And therefore, pramada should not be done. Why? What happens by pramada? Next verse. Let us see. Verse number 322. Na pramādādanartho'nyo jnānina svasvarūpatah tato mohastato'haṃdhīstato tato bandhastato yathā na pramādādanartho'nyo jnānina svasvarūpatah tato mohastato'haṃdhīstato bandhastato yathā. He says, pramādādanyaḥ anarthaḥ jnāninaḥ na asti. There is nothing which is more dangerous than pramada for the jnani. Now please remember, please make note of this point. We are discussing brahmatmana samsthiti. Okay, so shravana is over, manana is over, nididhyasana is over, experience has happened, but that experience we are not able to abide in. So the person is jnani but has not yet become jīvanmukta. Don't forget where we are. He says even for such a person, pramada is dangerous. What then to talk about you and me who has not even reached there? For us, pramada is even more dangerous. See, if the jnani is not spared by this pramada, where are we? So even for jnani, swasvarūpatah, about one's own nature, about the real nature, pramādādanyaḥ anarthana. There is no other calamity, anartha, danger, calamity than pramada. Means what? Pramada is the worst thing even for a jnani. It is said, no, it takes a moment for us to slip. There is a slip between the cup and the nip, they say. Almost reached, finger has almost reached the cup, but there is a slip possible. Even between that small gap. Why? That small gap is this inadvertence, this pramada. You have experienced. Now you just have to go one step further and realize and get established in that Brahman. Even there, if you do pramada a little bit, then you will fall. Why? Tato moha. Because from pramada will come back moha. Moha, delusion. Tato ahandhihi. From that moha will be born ahandhi. Ahandhi, ahankara. Tato bandha. When ahankara comes back, means what? Bandha returns, bondage returns. Tatah vyatha. When bondage has come, then vyatha. Vyatha means misery, sorrow. So by pramada gives rise to delusion. Delusion will give rise to ahankara. Ahankara here means what? Ahandhi. Is that, remember that considering ego to be the self. Aham adhyasa. Earlier he had used the term aham adhyasa. That aham adhyasa will come back because of delusion. Because of delusion, you are not realizing your real nature of the self, and therefore what? You are misunderstanding the self to be the ego. And then you start the transaction. The ego arises, the bondage arises. The bondage arises, misery, sorrow arises. Pramada will result ultimately in sorrow. There is a story of Jada Bharata which comes in Srimad Bhagavata, which beautifully explains this. There was one king. I think many of you have already heard the story. And that king, after completing his duties, etc., retired and was doing sadhana in a very secluded, place where he was totally focused on sadhana and very heights of meditation he was in. One day, what happened? He was sitting in that quiet place, calm place, lonely place, solitude, and he saw that in the river, one deer was giving birth to a baby deer, and after giving birth, the mother deer died, and this small baby deer, just born, orphan. So this now high level sadhaka felt something about this baby deer, which is born in front of his eyes. This is pramāda. Which taking care of a animal is at that level, he is not supposed to get involved with anything of the world. So what happens is, he feels that little compassion and then goes and brings that baby deer and then starts to take care of the deer. Then what? Then when he sits for meditation, his attention is only on the baby deer. Where is the deer? Somebody has attacked. Where it is? Where it is? Where it is? It is said that he dies, becomes a deer. Why? Because that is the thought with which he is dying. But when he becomes the deer, by God's grace and all the sadhana that he has performed so far, he remembers what all sadhana I did, and for a small thing I just fell short of that reaching the goal. So he goes through that entire life of the deer, and when he is reborn, he is born with such conviction that nothing can move me. And he is born to a family where Brahmana family, etc., he doesn't even speak. He says, why? Because if I speak, I may get involved with the world. So he remains like a mad person, not speaking. Anybody says anything, he does it. Always remaining in the constant reflection of Brahman. And because he is like that Jada, therefore he is called a Jada Bharata. His name was Bharata actually when he was the king, and then he fell for the deer, and then through the birth of deer, then he was born here. He was living like a Jada, therefore the story of Jada Bharata. That small inadvertence, small carelessness, okay, that caused the entire samsara to return, misery. He has to take birth again as an animal. Why? Because pramāda results in moha, delusion results in ahankara, ahankara results in samsara bandha, bandha results in yathā, misery. Okay, so pramāda should not be done, even by the jnani. That is the point. Okay. Now, how? Okay, why pramāda is not to be done? Okay. How pramāda catches? That will be explained in the next verse. We will see in the next session. Sufficient for today. Beautiful section. This section of pramāda is very, very, very beautiful. And especially because of the examples that he gives, we will see in the next session. The example of Shaivala, the example of ball, etc. Oh, just amazing. We will see. Okay, so pramāda is to be not to be done. Don't postpone sadhana. Don't say that, okay, tomorrow onwards I will start this. Not today, or tomorrow. Let me indulge for a moment. No. Why? Pramādo vai mrityu. Pramāda is death. Remain alert all the time. Alert about what? Whether that negativity, pramāda, anything is entering into the mind. At that moment itself, stop it and say, go. Don't come here. Don't say that, oh, you have come, sit for 5 minutes, then go. No, that 5 minutes are sufficient. It will catch you. Okay. All right. Let us conclude. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.